Jesse, can you bring up the Derek Ryan clip? The Edmonton Oilers are 4-0 under new coach Jay Woodcroft, who came from the Wheat Kings? No. What's the AHL team?
They're Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. And what's interesting is that all the players that played under Jay Woodcroft that were struggling under Tip are now playing really, really well.
There's a lot of Sheldon Keefe vibes, eh?
100%.
Yeah.
And the more, it makes you wonder why they hired Tippett in the first place. But listen to what, I'm serious. Listen to what Derek Ryan had to say after the game he scored. He's been playing great.
I don't know what the single thing is. I think we're just working hard, playing together, supporting each other. I think we've been good on the forecheck, getting pucks back. I think that's huge, especially this time of year in this league. It gets hard. You have to score ugly goals, and I think we've done a little bit of that. And it feels nice. Got some confidence going, and that helps as well.
It seems the contributions are coming from throughout the lineup in different ways. Just especially this last little run here. Is there a feeling in there right now of kind of everybody pulling on that rope and having a chance to? And does it feel notable?
I think so. Well, I can speak for myself. I can't speak for the whole group, but I feel like we feel that everyone's getting a chance, an opportunity to provide help. And obviously, we can't rely on Leon and Connor to do everything. We need support for those guys and for everyone in the top six. So I think it's been good for myself to just get some confidence built up, to play more, get more of an opportunity offensively. I think that's helped a lot in my game.
So the offense is coming for you, and the defense seems to be coming for the group and a lot of other guys. As a guy who specializes in that side of the game, what are you noticing about your team and your tendencies defensively here lately?
Yeah, I think we're just so much more detailed than we were earlier in the year. I think everyone's on the same page. We've been working on certain things that we struggled in earlier in the year, track reads, coming back into our defensive zone structure, where guys are supposed to be, making reads off each other. It just felt like earlier in the year guys were kind of panicky, didn't really quite know where to go, but I think it's been a lot more clear and evident lately that that structure coming into our D zone and transitioning through the neutral zone is just so huge. All the teams we played lately, they create so much offense through that transition, and so I think that's been big for us, and the structure and detail is just evident.
I made you wait for that clip. It was at the end, and I should have queued it up better. I'm sorry about that.
You deleted your prep.
But the part where he says details, and then the part where he says we were jumped because we didn't know where to be. That is the sign that a head coach needs to go.
There's a couple things there. We have been talking about how Leon and McDavid can't do everything, which is something he echoed there. But there have been a few times where, I've gotten home from us talking about that, and then I've looked at the Oilers roster and I'm like, really? Like, this team doesn't have depth? What's going on? Fogle, Hyman, Nuge, and I'm looking at even guys like Derek Ryan. I'm like, he doesn't suck.
No.
Like, that's
NHL
a guy.
Yeah.
And they got some young guys, and Evan Bouchard is really coming along. What's going on? What's happening here? I still think they're a little soft on defense. But what's going on? They're too good to be playing this bad. The other thing is, I like to study the music of speech. Early in the year, got like heavy emphasis from him, right? And I'm trying to figure out what the intention was there. Was it a dagger, or was it him trying his hardest to make it not sound like that?
Right.
Saying early in the year instead of saying, well, under the previous coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. During their winter slump, the problem with the Oilers was that they were bad on defense. Like, I think it could just boil down to that. Their offense has always kind of been there because they have the two best offensive talents in the league. And they couldn't stop anything because the goaltending is bad because there's no defense in front of the goaltending. And it was just a matter of getting them not to play such back and forth high event hockey and just play some defense. And then getting a new head coach just seemed to be able to steady the ship and get them to actually stay down in D and play it a little.
So they had that in common with the early year Canucks. What the Oilers, prior to Tippett being fired, also had in common with the early year Canucks is they all looked like they hated their lives.
Yes.
And sometimes, like, it's not even that Tippett's a bad coach. It's sometimes...
Well, it might be.
It might be. But sometimes it's just you're done here.
Yeah.
You know what I
Your
mean?
time just runs out. Because we say this time and time again, and Martin St. Louis in Montreal has proved this point. But coaching at the NHL level isn't coaching. You're not telling these NHL players how to play hockey. They know how to play hockey. It's motivation at the end of the day. You're trying to get them up for these games and making them try hard.
How often does a new coach go in and we go, oh, they've made no difference at all?
Right.
It's rare.
Yeah, it's
it's
true.
really rare. Yeah. Except for Peter Horacek, who somehow managed to make it worse. But
yeah, that was
like,
has he? I hope he's worked in the NHL again. I feel bad.
he
for
has.
him.
Yeah,
Okay,
He
yeah.
has. He's been an
do feel
assistant
bad.
and a scout, I believe.
Like they lost their head coach, and then they lost JVR for the season, and then Lupul for the season and forever. And like he lost some, he had no chance.
There's sometimes you shouldn't take the job. You know, like I don't know if that was good for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was good for his career.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's often they're just extremely talented players who just end up enjoying showing up to the rink a little bit more. They enjoy what's new. Like again, Montreal, we know everything's been a disaster for them this year. Again, what I was saying around the time they fired Ducharme, I look at them on paper, I'm like, well, they shouldn't be
This bad.
on pace for like the record in losses, for God's sake. And look, hey, there's a win.
Caulfield's got 4 goals in 4 games. Like, he's back.
That's the one of
Caulfield.
above all else. I don't know how they screwed him up.
Yeah. And now they're fixing him.
But because
And now they're
Ducharme was
fixing
not
it.
a good coach
Right.
I don't know how you screw up that kind
from
of
game
skill.
one. Well, he didn't want to play him. He didn't even play him the first 2 games of the playoffs. Dude, guys,
I don't.
you don't
don't know
know.
how
I know. I'm telling you. The answer is here.
I don't-
Ducharme was not meant to be a coach in the NHL. Maybe an assistant at best.
That
bold
player
take.
scored for him in the playoffs. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't.
He's not a good
I'll
coach.
never understand. And
Because he's not a good coach.
okay, boy, you really don't like him. Huh?
He's just not.
Kick your dog. Which
No,
one?
it's just like it was so
Cedric?
frustrating to me how many people were like, "Oh no, he's good. You don't know what the hell you're talking about." I'm like, I'm seeing the same game,
Yeah.
and I saw what Luke Richardson did in the playoffs. Drives me crazy. Anyway,
Anyways, I think
ugh.
if you take a last place team and you fire their head coach and you put Steve Dangle in as coach for a month, I'm sure you will motivate the team well enough
Perhaps
to
not
win a couple
me.
games. No, Steve, you go in there, you do LFR's post game live for the team every game after every game.
So I know.
Yeah, you go in there, you yell a bit in your Steve Dangle way. You can get them to win a couple games.
Like
Remotivate the squad.
Vancouver Canucks, you bring in Bruce Boudreau, and he goes, "Hey," and you're like, "Ha, love this guy."
I'm gonna go score a goal on Patterson.
Hey, you're right, Bruce.
So
I'm gonna be the best version of myself today. Well, I didn't say anything, but yes.